Hello and welcome to the show that brings you the best of international water sports action from around the world. On this week's show, it's sailing action from the 470 World Championships in France. 600 sailors from 40 nations taking to the water in this stunning location. Then we're back in Italy for our second report from the Kite Racing Championships. But first, it's Hastings for highlights from round 4 of the New Zealand Jetsprinting Championships.
Round 4 of the JetPro New Zealand Jetsprinting Championships for 2013 was in Hastings. 25 minutes from Hastings, in fact, at the Crownthorpe track, the Riverside Jet track. This is one of the most difficult rotations in the championships roster, with 7 islands to negotiate. It would always be a test for man and machine. Points going in after 3 rounds in Group A. Well, it only ever been 3 finalists. And on top of the tree was Sam Newdick, virtually unbeatable in the first 3 rounds. Aaron Hansen and Monica Cooper were one of the combinations that struggled on the multi-island course in the Hawke's Bay, his best run netting him 9th overall. In 10th place was Russell Dodds along with Marty Stock. Russell is one of the more experienced campaigners in jet sprinting, but he had a lengthy layoff from the sport and was back. His 49.43, good enough for 10th overall. So if we have a look at our top 12, you can see there's no real surprises because it is Sam Newdick on top of the tree once again, along with Richard Murray and Paul Gaston. They've been the 3 protagonists right throughout the 3 rounds previously. They've shared honours on the top steps of the podium. First to go in the top 8, remember from here we'll cut them down to 5 and then there'll just be 3 and they'll be our finalists. But this is Baden Gray and Tanya Ironmonger. Well, they have had a better fist of it than in the previous round where they had a few issues. They're finally back up to pace in Ting Tools Racing. And remember, this boat is double driven, so it is a double whammy if they have mechanical issues or, perish the thought, they come out of the groove. So Baden Gray working his way around the circuit. Ting Tools Racing is the boat. It's been an all-conquering boat in past seasons, but they're doing it a little bit tough this time round. Coming up to the split point very shortly, we'll get a gauge of what the timing's going to be. He needs to be in the 46s, I would think, if he wants to progress any further. 32.91 at the split, so Baden Gray is there or thereabouts. Best time so far for Baden, 47.68 he did in qualifying round number 4. He's fractionally slower in the top 12. This is the 8. He'll be looking for an improvement here. Heading down towards the finish here at Crownthorpe, 46.80. Harry Whelan's next up. Second generation driver. He is the son of Phil Whelans. You'll see Phil out a little bit later on in Suzuki Superboat. This is the Group A version of the family boating empire, if you like. Jack Trucks are the sponsors. And Harry having a bit of a baptism of fire, I should say, in the first round at Wanganui, then improved a little bit at Featherston and also at Mary Mary. But here we are in round 4 of 6, so we're past the halfway stage in the New Zealand Jetsprinting Championships. And just look at the way that Harry's navigator just urging him on there. This is Jason Conroy looking for the split time. He's got to be better than the 32.55. That was the time put up by Duncan Wilson. Fastest so far. Well, I just wonder if Harry can threaten that. In fact, I think they might have a slight navigational error because this time's going to blow out. It's going to be a 43.10 at the split, so that's going to translate very close to the minute mark, and that may be as far as Harry goes in this round of elimination. We're into the top 8. We'll cut him from 8 to 5, and then there'll just be 3. Whelans comes across the finish line now with a 57.99, and I'm sure that won't stand up. Andrew Guthrie and Janine Ingram next to go. The boat is Rotorworks. It's a Maccraft Sprint Tech combination. Runs a 406 cubic inch Chevrolet. Remember, 4-barrel carburetors. Limited modifications allowed in International Group A. But Andrew's been around the sport for a long, long time, and he knows how to get the very best out of these boats. And another one that's been consistent around about the 48-second mark. He's going to have to go a little bit quicker than that if he wants to progress through into the 5. And look at the attitude of the boat. He gets the hairpin absolutely spot on. The boat just sits nice and flat on the water. Janine getting a little bit excited as they work their way through the switchback down into the split time. It's a 39.24, so it's not the scintillating 32-second runs of Duncan Wilson or Baden Gray, but maybe it's enough. At the moment, Harry Whelan's 57.99, third ranked here in the 8. You just get the feeling that that's not going to hold up. What can Andrew Guthrie and Janine Ingram do about it? Rotorworks comes down into the finish line with a 48.50. This is action from qualifying round number 4. This is Paul Gaston, been on the podium every time so far in the New Zealand Championships, but maybe a little bit of a slip-up, a chink in the armour. The good news was they would repair the boat and be ready for their top 8 run, having gone through the top 12 with a time of 47.06. So they've been very, very fast. You're on board with them here. The boat is Glass Pro. It's the World Championship winning, New Zealand Championship winning boat of Reg and Julie Smith from last year, but it's a likeable Aussie. They call him Gas Gas. Paul Gaston at the control. Louise Blythe is his navigator. You can see her just directing her driver exactly where to go, and you can see what I was talking about before, how shallow the islands are, and they sneak up on you a wee bit. But Gaston's a wake up to you. Well, another one that may be just a slight navigational problem. This time's going to blow out as well, and this is bad news. This is championship ramifications for Paul Gaston, because the split time was a 40.20, and that is similar to what Harry Whelan's did, and his time was out over the 55-second mark. Down towards the finish line now, 53.53. You won't be happy with that.
I don't think it was so much the pressure, I was just focusing on a certain part of the track and sort of luck there. So, yeah, anyway, we'll see how we go. I think we corrected it, but there's not much chance once you're into this sort of elimination round now.
We've still got a little bit up our sleeve, sort of saving a little bit for the final runs. Our better blades, we're going to put them in for the last 2 runs, and hopefully that'll give us that edge.
So this is Richard Murray and Kirsty Manning. This combination, like Paul Gaston, Louise Blythe, and like Sam Newdick and Glenn Mason, has been on the podium every one of the previous 3 rounds here of the Jet Pro New Zealand Jetsprinting Championship. They have found another leg, as the saying goes. They are fast, they are consistent, they have not put a foot wrong. Let's see what they can do this time round. And they've been blazingly quick. They've been in the 45s. In the top 12, they're in the 45s. So they're laying down the gauntlet now, especially with the problem with Gaston. Will it be enough to get Gaston into the 5? We'll just have to wait and see. It all depends now on the results. Perfect execution, and then the boat gets a little bit squirrely coming out of the hairpin, but that's still a good run for Richard Murray and Kirsty Manning. The boat is Mean Machine. It's a forward small block. Heading down towards the split time now for Richard Murray, 32.09. Fastest we've seen all afternoon. So Murray is on a bit of a charge here in Crownthorpe. Round 4 of the Jet Sprinting Championship. This is going to be a fast run, and he needs it with the problems for Gaston. It is a 45.58. Fastest run we've seen so far. Sam Newdick still to come. He is the uncrowned king of PSP International Group A for the 2013 season. He won at Wanganui, he won in Featherston, he won at Mary Mary. Is he going to win here in Hawke's Bay? Crownthorpe is the venue for round 4 of the championship, and he's another one that's been blazingly fast. Sam Newdick's been in the 45s since the top 12 as well. Oh, you see just a small mistake there. The boat nearly coming out of the water, and that's what you've really got to look for here in Hastings. It gets a little bit well, what's the word? A little bit tight in some places, and it opens right out. You've got to be on top of your game. Is Sam Newdick on his game? 31.15 at the split tells you that he is. Down towards the finish line now. Paul Gaston's 53.53 in real danger here. He's not going to make the 5 because Sam Newdick stops the clock with a 44.27, and he takes out the Australian. This is action from qualifying round number 4. Bevan and Kathy Muir and Teng Tools Racing just get a little bit wrong and beach the white pointer. They would go on and repair what small damage there was and make it through to the 8. Last boat to go, of course, because it is double driven. Another combination that has been fast. They've seemed to have found their mojo again. The DNF didn't hurt them, although they have yet to crack the 45-second mark. So they're not quite the pace of Richard Murray or Sam Newdick just at the moment, but they are the best of the double-driven combinations in Teng Tools Racing. Bevan and Kathy Muir. having a look for the split time now. Needs to be in the 32s if he wants to be there or thereabouts. Coming down to the electronic timing point, it is a 32.64 at the split, so he's there or thereabouts. And now Andrew Guthrie will be a worried man because he's on the bubble. Remember, we've lost Gaston, we've lost Harry Wheeland. We're not going to lose Bevan Muir, though. Down towards the finish line now. 46.12. That means that Bevan Muir should make the 5 as we cut them from 8 to 5. So it is once again Sam Newdick on top with that 44.27. Is anyone going to be able to beat that in second place? It is Richard Murray and Kesty Manning with that 45.58, and then the rest are scrambling.
And we'll be back in New Zealand for more jet sprinting action after the break. And later in the show, it's kite racing from Italy. See you in a couple of minutes.